Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me online in celebrating the 111th National Day of the Republic of China, Taiwan. As the COVID-19 pandemic still lingers around, considering the health and safety of our friends, this year, still, we are not going to hold a physical National Day reception. Instead, we celebrate our National Day in a digital manner. Dear friends, over the past year, Taiwan has overcome a number of challenges and outperformed most countries in many areas, demonstrating Taiwan's extraordinary resilience in a post-pandemic era. For instance, Taiwan's economy grew by 6.28% last year, posting the highest growth rate since 2011. More recently, at a time when global economy and supply chains have been gravely affected by the Russo-Ukrainian war and inflation, Taiwan's economy is still projected to grow steadily by over 3% this year. Taiwan, as a vibrant democracy and responsible stakeholder in the Indo-Pacific region, is determined to pursue sustainable development together with international friends, with Indonesia as its prioritized country. Since the new southbound policy was rolled out by my government in 2016, many Taiwanese investors have been encouraged to relocate to Southeast Asia, and Indonesia is a major destination. According to Indonesia's official figures, the foreign direct investment from Taiwan last year amounts to $316 million, making Taiwan the 14th largest foreign investor of Indonesia. Taiwanese investments in Indonesia have created bountiful job opportunities. For example, Taiwan's shoemaker Chen Group hires 60,000 workers in Bandung, and the textile company Kahatex hires 50,000 workers in Bandung. Altogether, it is estimated that around 2,000 Taiwanese investors have brought about more than 500,000 job opportunities in Indonesia. In addition, earlier this year, Taiwan's Hong Hai Precision as well as Gogoro signed an MOU with Indonesia's Indiga Energy and IBC, aiming to collaborate in the areas of batteries and electric vehicles, EV. The potential partnership is to support the Indonesian government's goal to develop EV and related industries. Ladies and gentlemen, Taiwan is Indonesia's 10th largest trade partner. The bilateral trade volume amounts to $11.3 billion last year. More importantly, when Taiwan enjoys trade surpluses with most countries in the world, Indonesia enjoys a surplus of $2.6 billion from its trade with Taiwan, which is remarkable for Indonesia. In this context, I hope a free trade agreement, FTA, between Taiwan and Indonesia will be signed so as to serve as a booster to take our bilateral trade to a much higher level. As well as trade and investment, the new southbound policy hinges on people-to-people connection and expands to exchanges and collaborations in all aspects. And over the past 6 years, ever since the launch of our new southbound policy, 20 MOUs and action plans have been signed between Taiwan and Indonesia in the fields of trade and economic development, labor, agriculture, human resource development, education and training, civil aviation, technology, so on and so forth. Indeed, our two countries have become great development partners, resulting in closely knit people-to-people relations in many areas. Currently, there are more than 300,000 Indonesians working or studying in Taiwan. Therefore, Taiwan is hosting the world's third biggest Indonesian diaspora. According to the latest data, more than a third of migrant workers in Taiwan are Indonesians, and they have become an integral part of our society. And I must stress that Taiwan treats migrant workers and local workers on an equal footing. All the Indonesian workers in Taiwan equally enjoy Taiwan's social welfare system and its world-renowned national health insurance scheme. Moreover, starting from the 10th August this year, a minimum monthly wage for Indonesian migrant caregivers in Taiwan has been raised from 17,000 new Taiwan dollars to 20,000 new Taiwan dollars, from 8.5 juta to 10 juta rupiah. This is a very good news for Indonesian migrant caregivers. In fact, my mother in Taiwan also hires an Indonesian caregiver. We call her Amb, which means our younger sister, and she has become a very important part of my family. On behalf of myself and the people of Taiwan, I would like to take this opportunity to extend our sincere gratitude for the contributions Indonesian workers have made to Taiwan's economy and society. When we talk about the people-centered new southbound policy, its scope reaches far beyond trade and economic cooperation. This is to say, our new southbound policy has encompassed agriculture, human resource development, education, civil aviation, technology, etc. In the sphere of education at present, there are more than 16,000 Indonesian students studying in Taiwan, and Indonesia has become the second biggest source country of foreign students for Taiwan. In order to strengthen cooperation between our countries in education and capacity building, various scholarships and training programs are being provided to Indonesians every year. I trust that Indonesian students and trainees who enjoy the scholarship and programs will not only become a driving force behind Indonesia's future development, but also they will serve as the bridges between Taiwan and Indonesia societies. In terms of agricultural cooperation, Taiwan has a long history of cooperation with Indonesia that traces back to 1976. In that year, we set up an agricultural team in Indonesia, which is now called Taiwan Technical Mission, TTM. In the past 46 years, the TTM, in partnership with Indonesia's public and private sectors, has carried out many valuable initiatives and projects all over Indonesia. For example, One Village, One Special Project, OVOP, in Bali Island, agribusiness and development plan for farmers in Bandung area, high-quality rice seed development plan in South Sulawesi. 6 years ago, in the year 2016, with a view to further deepening the agricultural partnership between our two countries, Taiwan and Indonesia signed an agricultural cooperation agreement. Based on a said agreement, we set up a comprehensive agricultural and horticultural demonstration zone in the Kalawang area, where we share our knowledge and experiences with Indonesian farmers regarding water conservation and irrigation, rice farming, duck farming, and horticultural crops, etc. In the Kalawang project, we also introduced modern farmer organizations water conservancy organizations, proper agricultural machinery and equipment, post-harvest work, storage of crops, marketing, as well as agribusiness. In the years to come, we will also cooperate with the Indonesian government to implement the North Sumatra Grain Production and Horticultural Development Project, with a view to working with Indonesian government to achieve its goal of self-sufficiency of food supply. Ladies and gentlemen, as you must have noticed recently, tensions are rising in the Taiwan Strait due to China's military trade operations around Taiwan. China's provocative military threat to Taiwan violate international laws, are against the principle of prohibition of the threat or use of force, and have endangered the long-cherished peace and status quo in the Taiwan Strait and in the Indo-Pacific region. Given the fact that Taiwan is located at the most important strategic point of this region, fending off the spread of communism from China, and produces about 92% of the most advanced semiconductors. Taiwan holds an irreplaceable position in the front line of the global democratic alliance, as well as in the global supply chain of high-tech industries. If China's military operations near Taiwan exacerbate the conflicts and escalate into a regional war, no country will be spared from the dire subsequent disasters and catastrophes. Dear friends, when the repercussions of the war in Ukraine are being felt all over the globe, and the world is still struggling to recover from the pandemic, we really cannot afford any more military escalations, let alone another armed conflict or war in this region. I trust all of you would agree that in this global village, no country is an isolated island, and that no peace in the Taiwan Strait means no peace in Indo-Pacific, in Asia, and in the world. Over the past years, regional peace, mutual trust, and cooperation have been the foundation of the robust partnership and close relations between Taiwan and Indonesia. So, I hereby appeal to all of you, let us work closer than ever to deepen the Taiwan-Indonesian relations, to uphold our shared democratic values, and to safeguard regional peace and stability. Thank you for your attention. Terima kasih.